Hi, I'm Christina Garza, the founder of Accounting Pros, and I'm super excited to introduce you to one of my clients, Brad, over at ZyraTalk. Brad is actually one of the founders of that program, and I'm super excited to have him show you what he's got today. So, Brad, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me on and allowing me to share our story and our product. I think the people watching this are really going to like what they see. And a little bit about me and about our company. So I'm one of the founders with two other partners. We started the company about 5 years ago. I'll give the quick, short story of where we got started. So we started with another brand called Great Pros. And what Great Pros was, it was an online marketplace to connect homeowners with home service contractors. So think if you need a new roof or an HVAC unit, you can connect with a pro on Great Pros. So what we decided to do is we wanted to challenge our online forms, and we built version 1.0 of ZyraTalk for ourselves, and it was a chatbot for our website. And we were like, wow, our conversions shot up. We were getting great engagement with customers who were on our website. But what was even more interesting was our clients, the plumbing and HVAC companies and the roofing companies, they were saying to us, why are these leads so much better? What's going on? And the reason they're asking that is because people were more conversational and they were actually typing what they needed. Like, hey, my Carrier AC unit, I haven't had it serviced in 3 years and it just broke down. It's blowing warm air now. So we were getting really good conversations where we actually knew what the customer's intent was with a very detailed conversation. So with that being said, I can even jump into a demo and show our product. So I'll actually go ahead and share my screen.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, I think it's the first time that you're seeing it as well. So
Yep.
yeah, I think this will be really cool. So I'll start with the front end real quick, and I can run through this in about 10 minutes or so. So I'll go through the front end and I'll run through the back end. If you have any questions while I'm going, feel free to interrupt, and even any questions that your clients may have for me, that would be
Yeah, for sure.
helpful. Okay, so this is Chaz Roberts. We're actually based out of Phoenix. So Chaz Roberts is the largest plumbing and HVAC company out of Phoenix. They do a couple $100 million a year. They're massive. So this is our product here on their website. It's our messaging platform. I said that we built a chatbot for our initial company, but we don't position ourselves as a chatbot company. And the reason I say that is because web chat is obviously our flagship product, but we have different avenues of communication. So you can see this text us button. We also have a direct integration to Facebook Messenger for any Facebook business page. We have the ability to integrate with WhatsApp, and then the call now button. We're not oblivious to people still like to call. We're very aware of that. So we give customers the ability to do that as well. So I'll jump into the I want to chat. Keep in mind, this is completely automated. We have hundreds of thousands of pieces of data over the years. We work with over 2,000 clients, so we've been able to capture that. This is all automated. I'll just start off by saying test so they don't jump in live at any time. But we're analyzing whatever a customer's saying. So if they're asking about pricing, scheduling, employment, canceling an appointment, whatever it is, we're able to analyze that. So I'll just say something like, I need pricing on a new AC unit. So we're analyzing that the query is about pricing, and then an AC unit, that's obviously a job that Chaz Roberts can do. So then we're getting into capturing the leads. So our number one objective is we want to capture leads. We want to increase online conversions while giving that customer an amazing experience on the website. So I'll just run through it real quick. Could I start with your name, Brad? And then it's going to ask me some follow-up questions, my area, what my phone number is, and then also what my email is. So I'll put my information in. We have validators built in, so you won't get any junk leads or anything. When I put my email address in, it sends to Chaz Roberts' team, and they will give me a call within about a minute or so. So they have their process for lead capture. We're just helping them capture in a more effective and efficient way. So that's the web chat version. Any questions before I move forward, Christina?
No, I was going to say I really like the ability that you can call now. I know there's a lot of people who really enjoy texting or chatting, but there's a whole other group of people who really like just to get a phone call in.
Yeah.
And I like that it's not either or, that it's both, because it opens the person who's using your software to a much broader audience.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like people still call. It's still a massive avenue of communication. If you look at the data and the trends, it's definitely shifting more towards web chat,
Hmm.
but still calls are still higher than chat, and we're aware of that. We're just helping companies as the trend continues, where more people want to chat. We're on the forefront of that. So
Awesome.
I'll
Yeah, I
jump.
can't wait to see how it looks like on the back end.
Yes, yeah, that's where a lot of our value comes, and
Yeah.
I think you're really gonna like that. And everyone watching as well, they're gonna like to see that.
Yeah.
So I'll get through this really quick. So the call now button, if I was to click that on a mobile device, it would pull up my dial pad and I would call the company. We track all of that on the back end. For reviews, any local business, reviews are huge. So capturing reviews is very important. If I click on this thumbs up button, I can click on Google, BBB, or whatever the company wants. They can add, Facebook reviews. If they're an attorney, they could add Avo. There's also some other review platforms that we can directly integrate with.
So I know that it's not likely that somebody's going to get a bad review because I'm assuming everybody using ZyraTalk is awesome. But
Everyone's
let's say,
perfect.
right, exactly. But let's say that they had a bad day and they didn't have a good experience. What happens when they have a bad
Yeah.
experience? Is somebody able to reach out?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'll go back and click on the thumbs down. So I really do like to touch on this because we want to do our part on preventing negative reviews from going on the internet. But what people ask, and a lot of our marketing partners and clients, they'll say, well, is this still compliant with Google's review gating policy? And it is, because you can still click here to leave your review.
Okay, that's good
So
to know.
yeah, so we are compliant, but we still do want to do our part to keep the negative reviews from going on the internet.
Yeah,
So
and I know there's a lot to be said about changing someone's mind. I think that somebody can start off with a bad experience, but as long as you deal with the problem appropriately, you can turn them into somebody who really sings your praises. So
yeah,
I would say that there's always an opportunity to be had when somebody has a negative experience because your company can grow. It can be a teaching opportunity for your team. So I think that it's beneficial to have the negative as well as a positive. I'd always love to have positive, but I like that you give them that chance.
exactly. Yep. That was a great question, and glad you asked that.
Yeah.
So for the text us button, I do want to touch on this. So we have the ability to text enable landlines and VoIP numbers, or we can just give you a completely brand new number. That's something that a lot of our larger clients have done, and they'll run billboards that say call or text. So they're actually capturing conversations through text, which is really cool. So it was a similar conversation to what you saw when you clicked the I want to chat, but just on SMS. And you can completely customize a text conversation as well, or you can jump in live if you want.
That's awesome. I love that.
Thanks. Yeah. And then lastly, deals and financing. This is a customizable button. Companies also like to add their blogs page or employment page if they're growing, but this is just a customizable button to redirect to another part of their website. So that's the front end. I went through it relatively quick. So I'll jump on the back end now, unless you have any questions before we move forward.
Yeah, actually, and maybe you'll get to this later, but I've seen so many chats
Yeah.
available. There's hundreds of companies that do really similar stuff. I know there's Intercom and a handful of other companies that are super popular.
Yeah.
It looks like what you're doing is different because you have the ability to call and text and chat, and there's a lot more functionality built in. But if somebody were evaluating, your company versus another company just on the front end, and we can get under the back end in a minute. How
Sure.
do you guys, what is the difference on the front end?
Yeah, sure. And I do want to talk about the differences because we get that question a lot. And I actually like when people ask that question. So Drift and Intercom and literally the thousands of chatbot companies, first of all, we're omni-channel, which means we are not just a web chat or chatbot company. Web chat's a big part of it, but we also have the conversation on SMS, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, whatever you want to integrate with, we can do that. What's also a huge thing is we only focus on local businesses. So home services is big for us. We're big in legal, dental, medical, anything you can think of, from a flower shop to a hot air balloon tours company. We work with thousands of companies. So it's pretty cool. All of these other competitors like Drift and Intercom, they focus a lot on like tech companies and other large enterprises. An enterprise deal to us would be something like a Stanley Steamer, where we work with multiple locations, or ServPro, which has 1,800 locations. We work with hundreds of them. So that's like an enterprise deal. It's just like a multi-location type thing, but just the same brand. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does. And I was going to say, somebody who is looking for enterprise level software for like a SaaS company is going to have a very different need than somebody who's local. And it seems like you're addressing their needs really well. So I appreciate you answering that question. Let's dig into the back end. I want to see how it all, like how everything like fits together.
Sure. Yeah, let's do it. So this is actually our master account. Let me go ahead and I'll jump into an account so that everyone can see what it looks like from a client interface. So this is RS Andrews. They're one of the larger plumbing and HVAC companies based out of Atlanta. So you can see all of your automated chats, live chats as well, which I'll touch on here in a second. Reporting, installation, customization, we take care of all of this for all of our clients. Reviews, Bot Builder, which is literally the brains behind everything. I won't get too nerdy on this call, but if anyone ever wants to see it, we can do a very in-depth demo. And then integrations. So we have integrations into some CRMs like Salesforce, Infusionsoft, Sugar CRM, a Zapier integration if someone else wants an integration into a different CRM.
That's awesome. I love that you have Zapier integration. It really opens up your software to a lot of different other pieces of software to connect to.
Yeah, exactly. That's huge. And then the other thing, so instructions for, deeper tracking. So we like to touch on like Google goal tracking or Google Analytics integrations, UTM tracking, Google Tag Manager tracking. We have capability for all of this. I'll jump into the automated chat section. So you can see job description on what anyone is saying. These are actually all today. So you can see the date and time as well. The name, zip code, phone number, email, whether the chat was completed or not, that's also a big deal. And then also the source, whether it was from Google, directly to RS Andrews' website, Yahoo, what the URL was, what the UTM URL is if they have that set up. So we're very, very in-depth on our data and our tracking. And I'll go ahead and actually...
Wait, are you saying that if somebody goes to RS Andrews emergency service, you can actually find out where they were at whenever they jumped into the chat?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So like the site URL.
That's amazing, because with that, you can help, bring more information about what they're looking for right in front of them.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really cool because a lot of companies will use this for their landing pages for running Google ads. And
wow.
Then landing pages are converting the best.
Oh, that's really good. So you can figure out don't put money behind this one, landing page, or make improvements to it because it's not, generating the results that I'm looking for.
Exactly.
Got it. That's awesome. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's powerful stuff. And for the viewers, we also work with a lot of marketing agency partners. So this is something that is super massive to them. So if you are working with a marketing agency, just tell them hey, I want to integrate with my Google Analytics or whatever it is. A lot of people do tracking a little differently, but we have capabilities on all different aspects.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I'll jump into the reports real quick. So a KPI that we really like to track is our chat completion rate. So you can see in the last 30 days or the last month or so, 100 out of 175 chats were completed out of 180 started. So that's about a 97, 98% chat completion rate. You can do the math on a calculator if you want to see if I'm right or wrong. But the completion rates are super high. If you compare this to a live chat platform where the hold times are a minute, sometimes even longer, you're going to see chat completion rates of 30%. sometimes even as low as 20% that we've seen. So it's a really important KPI to look at, how many chats are being completed. And then you can see we track other things like the button clicks. Coupons is a big one for people. RS Andrews, they took their phone button off for some other reasons, but generally what you would see here is for however many chats you see, you'll see about a third phone clicks. So they would see about 60. So
I actually have a question about this. So let's say that somebody starts the chat, but they get pulled away or they otherwise don't complete it. I know when you're first getting started, you ask for things like the name, the email, phone number. Is there a place where you can see the incomplete chats and then go back and call the person up and say like, hey, it looks like you didn't complete the chat. Let's keep this conversation going.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And keep in mind that only happened 5 times in the last month, but you can go on your chats and you can filter by incompleted chats, and you can see, let's see, it was like on a blog where they're probably asking a general question where maybe our team hasn't necessarily gotten to that. Or what probably happened is they probably put this question into our AI. So now if someone was to ask about the differences between an electric and gas stove, we would be able to answer that more efficiently. So we have a team who's analyzing incomplete chats to kind of see what happened and why they weren't completed.
So that means that you can essentially make your chats more intelligent over time?
Yeah, we have a team who works on that every single day.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'll just show the installation real quick. So once an account is created, keep in mind we do this hands-free for everyone. A script is generated. It's just a random chat key, and this just goes into the head or the body of your website. So really straightforward. It takes like 5 minutes to install on your site. Honestly, it can take 30 seconds if you really know what you're doing.
And you said that this can also go on landing pages. So somebody's like on a lead page account, they can also use that in the header?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay,
exactly.
got it. Very cool.
Yep. And then just some other things that we take care of for our clients. The colors, we'll make sure that it matches to your brand. Also your logo. And then just some other things people tend to ask like, oh, will it pop up after 3 seconds? Will it pop up after, however long? So we have customizations on that, more so if anyone's asking on a demo.
Got it.
And then reviews, whether you want Facebook, Google, we have Home Advisor here because we started out in home services, but we can also add other links. I think I mentioned attorneys use Avo. Okay. So we could just add that image and then their link and it would pop up.
Okay, got it. That's cool.
Yep. And then as far as the notifications that you and your team are going to get, so RS Andrews, they have their leads email, and then the owner has his email as well. You can put however many emails you want. You can also set up text notifications. So like our roofers who are on the roof and, responding to leads and that aspect, they can get a text notification and actually respond from there.
Yeah, on the top of the roof.
No, literally. It's
oh my gosh. I'm a little afraid of heights, so I don't think I'll be answering my phone if I'm on a roof. I'm like, trying to stay as still as possible.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's
so let's say that there's a company that has, 10 different salespeople. Is it like a per license basis? And can you assign leads based on teams? Or like, how does that work?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So the way we charge is based on location. So a good example would be like a Serve Pro. There's a lot of owners who own like 4 locations. So we charge them based on location. RS Andrews, for example, they only have 1 location, but they're really big. So we'll even do it a little bit off of volume to make sure that we're covering our costs on the software end. So yeah, that's basically how we charge.
I like that. A lot of times when I think there's a little bit of hesitance, like when you're like, I don't, know if this is right for me, or I don't know if I'm ready for this. If you have to buy lots of licenses, so if there's a roofing company with, 5 people who are on their sales team, they might add 1 person or 2 people because they're afraid it's going to, incrementally get a lot more expensive. And I don't think that somebody in that position would get the full value of the software if just a few people on the team are using it. So by having it be, location by location, I think it opens it up for more people to use it within their company, and for it to be just something that's integrated in their sales process rather than, like dipping your toe in the water. So I like how you've got your pricing set up.
Yeah. And I'm glad you said that, because we hear feedback from thousands of our clients, and the feedback that we really have understood is people only want to pay for what they're getting. They don't want to pay for 10 people who are on a software where only one person's using it, but then the company's like, oh, we don't want to go back because you're so big. We want to make sure that the company's getting a fair deal. And it's also fair for us because we have our costs, our marketing costs, and our team costs. So yeah, it's really a win-win for everyone.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
something that I did want to mention was case studies, because we like to tie everything back to revenue and prove that we're actually doing a good job and getting you good results. So we have a lot of case studies where companies have tied back our conversations back to revenue, and they're seeing massive returns on what
So tell me the wildest return that you've seen, like something that you're like, whoa.
Oh, man. Well, one of our clients, we compared their revenue from 2018 to 2019. They do about $25 million a year. Their online revenue increased by about 33%. It was actually 33.4%. And the company grew by 8% from 2018 to 2019. So the online revenue increase was such a massive factor to their growth. And it was literally hundreds of thousands of dollars of revenue added when, they weren't paying us that much, but
yeah, you got to start charging on a percentage basis. Just kidding. That's pretty wild.
Yeah. So we have a lot of case studies like that, and it's really awesome for us to see because we know the product is working. And when we get something like that, where we know they're getting a massive return, we'll go back to them and say, hey, can you leave us a Google review and give us a written testimonial? Mm-hmm. And can you send us some referrals because this works?
Yeah.
So that works out well for us too.
And let's say that someone's like not as tech savvy. I know that you do a lot of hand holding in this process. It seems like you're applying the colors and and the branding, and you're getting it on the websites and everything. So that part is awesome. But let's say that someone is looking to get started and they're just not as tech savvy. Do you have help articles or videos, or like how do you walk somebody through the training process?
Yeah, that's a really good question. We have videos on every page. So you can watch the page tutorial here. You can watch this page tutorial right here. Literally every single page. Except for this one, it looks like. But
that one's pretty self-explanatory.
You can watch a page tutorial here as well. So we have tutorials on every single page. We also have a blog where we're answering a lot of questions that people are asking. And then if you go on YouTube and type in ZyraTalk demo, you would see a similar demo to what you saw that I just went through.
Got it. Okay. And I don't know if you touched on this. I saw that you had lots of different reports. Are you able to show me? I don't know if it's private to this company, or just what kind of reports you have. Maybe show that.
Yeah. So I just showed the general reports that we have. A lot of companies, they'll export the CSV of the data in the last 30 days.
Okay.
And everyone kind of runs reports a little differently.
Okay.
So we've heard that feedback, and we just give a couple different options on how companies want to pull their reports.
Sure. I actually like that you have it in a CSV. I use Zoho reporting for some of my data visualization, and spreadsheets is a way that you can get information in. And I know you can use like Microsoft BI and some other stuff using Excel. So I like that there's a little bit of flexibility there.
Yep, exactly. It's important.
Cool. So if somebody was interested in talking with you more about, how to integrate ZyraTalk into their, marketing and sales workflow and like getting signed up with you, what do they need to do?
Sure. Yeah. You can just go to ZyraTalk.com. You can scroll to the bottom and put your information in, or you can chat. You can click, I want to chat. We have a little bit more customization. I want to schedule a meeting. So you can actually schedule a demo directly with us on our chat. So
I love that.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool, and we'd love to talk. And we do a ton of demos every single week. Once you see
Yeah.
our product, it's kind of a no-brainer to sign up.
Yeah, you definitely are going like miles ahead of other chat software. I mean, it's really clear that you guys have thought through how customers want to engage with, the companies that work with you, and how to better provide information in a more timely fashion. I love that your chat gets more and more intuitive or smarter as things go along. And the pricing, I think, is out of this world. I mean, that's such a good idea. So I'm really excited to introduce this to my clients. So I will definitely send them your way. But do you have any closing thoughts?
No closing thoughts on my end. We're excited to have conversations with anyone that is interested, and excited to talk to your clients. And yeah, it's exciting. I appreciate you having me on here as well.
Yeah, for sure. Well, have a good day. I'll get this online and everybody will start chatting with you, I'm sure.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank
Okay.
you, Christina, and thank you for the work that you guys do for us as well.
You're welcome.